Hello, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight and for your patience. Little technical difficulty with some drivers and all that fun stuff. So I think we're up and running. If you are tuning in, please drop me a comment so I know you're there. I am Michelle Rushing with Stampin' Butterfly, and tonight we are going to take a look at the new paper pumpkin. I'm super excited. It came quickly, and it is called Change is Beautiful. So every month I get the paper pumpkin kit, and I like to tune in with you guys. We'll put together a card. So here's the kit. We'll put together one of the cards just as it is designed, and then we'll go ahead and do an alternative. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's flip the camera down. So wanted to let you know I've got my new host code up at the top of the camera, at the screen, and if you are interested in shopping today, Stampin' Up is offering a free shipping day. So if your order is $75 or more, you will receive free shipping on your order. So make sure if you want to take advantage of that you do. So I'm going to just double check and make sure I'm in the right place actually before we get started. So let's take a quick look. So bear with me, and I think we are in the right place. So, and I am also going to, let's see, that's better. I had to readjust my camera, it lost the settings. Otherwise I'd be auto zooming all night and then I'll probably make you guys dizzy. So these are the three cards. Let me move the instructions out of the way real quick. So these are the three cards as the kit designs them. And this month you'll get 3 of each card. And they're kind of a fun fold, so really cute. This one's got some die cuts out, so you've got some stuff in there. And then this one's another fun fold as well. So let's move that out of the way, it's gonna blind you. All right, so those are the 3 cards. I think we'll do this one tonight together, and then we're going to make an alternative maybe with some pieces from that one, and we'll do that together. At the end I'll share a bunch of alternatives that I've put together with this card kit. It comes together super easy, which I'm excited about. The ink spot this month is Melon Mambo, so you'll get some hot pink. Now I have my big ink pad that we're going to use, so let's pull out some of our goodies. There is some fun gemstones that are kind of funky shaped, so we'll be using those. Let's pop those out real quick so you can take a look at them, see them a little bit better. And we have some fun die cut pieces. So paper pumpkin always comes pre-designed for you. You can punch out your pieces. You don't need a die cut machine. Comes with your ink, your block, your stamp, so you are good to go. And then we have 3 different patterned envelopes, so the inserts are a lot of fun on those. And then they're white on the side. So I will show you, I cut apart some of the cards and made a bunch of other cards. So I said we were going to make this guy. So let's go ahead and pull out the pieces for that one. And we've got the die cuts. Let's move our box out of the way and pull out our instructions. So the way the instructions are designed is the first page when you open up, it gives you an example of all the different pieces that go to each card. Then when you flip it open, gives you a ruler in case you have any twine or things you need to measure. And then they do 1 section for each card. So this is the card we'll be putting together tonight, and it has some pretty sentiments. It says, I am proud of who you are, or who you became. And then it says, may this new season hold wonderful new experiences. So we're gonna go ahead and put that card together, and we'll follow the directions. So let's set that aside. And let's see, what stamps do we need? I brought some blocks along. Now when you're doing your paper pumpkin, it'll come with 1 block, but if you have additional ones, you can mount them all up in one shot, or you can take it off each time you're done using it. So wonderful experiences, so we're going to need that one. Put that on the block. Going to need the little butterfly. I didn't bring a small block, so there we go. And I am proud, let's see, who you become. There we go. So those are the stamps we'll be using tonight for this card. And we'll set those aside. I'm going to pull in my big ink pad, and we'll do a little folding and a little popping out of our pieces. So if we flip back to the instructions, this one says we need a caterpillar. So we'll just wiggle these up a little bit, and then they should come out pretty easy. And we're gonna need a butterfly. So pop this one out. Alrighty. We'll set that aside. And I think that's all we need for this card. So sometimes I like to take my bone folder and loosen the fibers of your paper. So if you wanted to get a little more dimension for your little caterpillar, you could do that to loosen it up. And then you can do the same thing with your butterfly. Now they show in the instructions, I think they put the wings down. So they put the dimensionals here. I'm gonna put it in the center because I want the wings to be loose. But you can do it any way you prefer. All right, and they've pre-scored the card a little bit for us. So here's the full size. And there's a score mark in the middle that we're gonna fold on. And then we're gonna take our bone folder, and it might be slightly off. You might see a little yellow line, and that's okay. If you don't want that, then you can slide your pieces to meet and then just rescore it a little bit. And you can slide that score mark. So you can do it either way. So I just lined it up a little bit better from that side. All right, then we can flip it over and we'll score that side. All right, let's get our ink out and do a little stamping. So the instructions show you to do, there's a sentiment that goes in the clouds, one that goes on the back, and then the butterfly. So we'll do our stamping first, and we will ink up our stamp. And then stamp it straight down and up. Then, well, I'm going to slide this over just in case my ink is wet. It shouldn't be. It usually dries pretty quick. Let me grab my little chamois. Clean that off. And we'll put together our butterfly. So we're going to stamp that on. And then make sure he's going the right way. I did a card earlier using this stamp, and I had the butterfly upside down, so I had to redo it. So clean that off. And then we'll do our last sentiment. So like I said, these cards come together great. They're really quick. If these sentiments aren't ones that you want to use and you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you could always pull out that new stamp set that we got last month. Because we got an extra stamp set. So you got the extra free stamp set with the Celebrate and things like that. So you could always use those sentiments for your card or any other sentiments. So depending on what occasion you want to make your card for. Like these are great for graduation and things like that too. So now we have our card and we just need to put it together. So we'll grab the dimensionals, and they came in the pack too, which is really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the center. I think these are a little fat and they show them, no, I guess they show them full size. Let's see if they fit. So we'll go ahead, line it up. Yeah, it does fit. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say you could also use your mini dimensionals if you have any of those floating around. So that is always good. All right, and then this just gets set kind of on the leaf. That there, and like I said, I want to put the dimensional on the back of my butterfly because I want his wings to be loose, but you could do it either way. And then just stick them on there. Make sure it doesn't overhang, otherwise it'll get caught on your envelope. Now we need some bling. Always gonna have the bling. And let me grab my take your pick tool. There's different tips that go on here. So I had the spatula. I was trying to scrape something off that I had in a place that I didn't want. So that works really good for that. So I'm going to use the pokey tool, and you can use that to pick up your gems. And then it looks like they just set the 3 underneath the caterpillar. Now you could also use the sticky part and kind of push it off and let it stick to that as well. So there's different ways to use your tool, and you just have to find which way you prefer. That actually worked really easily. Maybe I'll switch to that. All right, so there's our card. See how quick that came together? So that is one card. And I think we're gonna go ahead and play with some alternative options for making a card. So you can use, so I have some random things. We'll show you guys. Lost a flower. So I have some pre-cut pieces that I thought we'd play with, and then you can see what you think. So here we go. So here's our card base. So I decided let's pull in the black. I always like pink and black. That seems to be one of my favorites. And I had some random circles and just cut some regular 5 1/4 by 4. So let's move the instructions out. So we'll put this one together. I'll kind of show you my thought process, and then I'll share all the alternatives that I made. So this card, this flower is actually from this other card. Where is that guy? So I borrowed the flower from this one and some of the yellow flowers as well. And then I'll show you another card where I cut this into 3 pieces and made 3 cards out of this one card. So I've got some sentiments from last month, the free stamp set. I thought we might play with those on our card. And then you can always save your pieces that you punched out. So this is where the butterfly came from. And you can use that as a stencil and you can color it in. So I'll show you how to do that. But I think this card we are going to tear apart the envelope. So I started doing this and thought, okay, let's do it together. So you can use your pretty envelopes. It's always nice to mail them in a pretty envelope. But another option is to open up your envelopes. And don't want to tear that. There we go, that's better. That one tore a little bit, but that's okay. And you can tear apart your envelopes, and then you can make these into different pieces for card front. So like you've got like almost a full size here. You could do like a 3 by 4. You could do a 1 or 2 inch strip. So you can maybe get three card bases or like decorative card fronts out of 1 piece of paper. So let's see. I'm creating on the fly, so I don't know what we're making just yet. I have a few more things. I had an extra butterfly floating around, so I thought we might want to use that. And let's get our paper trimmer. So move that away. And thought we'd go ahead and trim our envelope. All right, so I'm just going to line it up on the score marks and then just trim straight down. And then we have a little piece we can use later. I think I need to get a new trimming blade. I think mine's been well loved this month. And it's fraying a little bit. There we go. Don't want to cut it crooked. And then we're going to cut the little flaps off. And these could be little strips even for another card too. I mean, those are fun shapes. I can line these up a little bit if I stand up. All right, so what size do we have? We pretty much have 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm going to trim that down. Okay, and if you have paper that's a little frayed, you can always run your finger over that or your bone folder to try to smooth it out. You could also use a little bit of sandpaper. So there we go. Move that out of our way. And let's see, how's it look on the black by itself? I kind of like it on the black, or if we wanted it to pop, we could trim it down a little more and do it on the white. I don't know, what do we think? I think we'll trim it down a little more. Let's do that. Let's be wild. Okay, so the next 1/4 of an inch. So right now we're at 5 1/4. So we're going to trim it down to 5 inches. So we're just going to trim a little bit off. And then instead of 4 on this one, we're going to change it to 3 3/4. All right, I think that'll give us enough white. Perfect. What do you think? Yeah, I like that border better. All right, cool. So we've got that. Now I wanted to make this pop a little bit, so I brought my little mini die cut machine over, and I thought we'd cut a stitch circle. So brought some cardstock that is too wide for the mini machine, so I'm gonna have to trim it down. Let's make sure my die cut actually fits in there. So we're going to use the new stylish shapes that comes out in the new May catalog. There are some nice stitch circles in here, and Okay, that looks like it'll fit. That's a plus. And then we need our paper just to be big enough to trim. So fancy math, no measuring. Just kind of eyeball it with laying it on your paper. All right. Get our little platforms out. So when you are die cutting with the mini machine, we are using the dies. So we're going to use plate 1 and plate 2. Make a little sandwich. And it's always good to stagger your plates. So make sure you do that. We're going to put our paper on there and do that. Oh, if you guys were wondering, I did hear we are getting the magnetic plates finally for the big machine. And they haven't told us yet for the mini, but hopefully soon after that, we should be seeing those magnetic plates. Super excited. I love using the magnetic plate. All right, there we are. Perfect. So what do we want to do with our card? All right, so, oh, I think that looks pretty. All right, let's do some gluing. So let me get my silicone sheet out so I don't glue my desk. And we're just gonna glue these on top of each other. Glue our layers together. And let's see. All right, I think that looks even. If not, the liquid glue does give you a little wiggle room on there. Perfect. Alrighty. And then, again, glue that layer down. And we have our card front all done for our base layers. Oh, the paper's just a little frayed. All right, perfect. There we are. Okay, now I think on here I want to pop this up, so we're going to use some dimensionals. We've got some of those in our kit. Alrighty. And let's see. Alrighty. We will layer that on there. I think that looks good. We can add, I think we'll do some mini. So I have some mini dimensionals so I don't have to trim anything down. And this one. Could even add the little butterfly if we wanted, but I think we'll just go with this. Oh, we got to make room for our sentiment. So I pulled this out. This is from one of the cards as well. Yeah, it's from the same card that I used this on. And we can use that as our sentiment. So we just have to decide what we want to do with it. That's kind of cute. Let's see what we have for sentiments on here. Sending birthday wishes. Okay, that one looks like it might just fit. Let's give it a whirl. So we'll go ahead and borrow this block. Do I want to do it? I think I'm going to do it in black, actually. I brought some Memento ink over here. So let's go ahead. And hopefully you guys don't mind. I thought it'd be fun to kind of create on the fly together so you can kind of see how some of my thought process works. Sometimes I just have random shapes or pieces that I pre-cut for something else and didn't use, and they end up working perfect for my alternative card. So it's kind of fun to do that. All right. Very nice. I like the black. Gives me a little contrast from all that pink. And you can never have too many birthday cards. Birthday and thank you, I think, are the most I always use. And I think we'll glue this one flat. Gotta decide where we want to send this one. I think I like it off the bottom like that. All right. So put a little glue on here. Put our flower in off to this, like a little bit of an angle. And then we're going to pop this one up. Now we have the black, like the pink on pink, so it's a little hard to see. You could use a sponge dauber if you wanted to darken it with another color of ink. You could also take it in your ink pad and kind of run it around the edges. But I think we're just gonna roll with it. Could try to overlap it on there, but I think I like it. Let's see. All the way over. Perfect. And maybe we can, here we go, look at that. We can put a little flower there. It gives us some contrast. Now you can see the pink better. And I have another little extra. And where do we want to put that? I think I like it right there. All right, I think that looks fun. Now I have some gems. So these are from our new catalog as well. That comes out May 3rd for customers. We get to do a little pre-ordering as a demonstrator. It's one of my favorite parts of being a demonstrator. And we have these new shiny gems. So I thought, let's see, do we want to put the yellow? Oh, the pink in the centers is kind of cute. Maybe we'll do that. See, I think the pointy tool on this one's going to be a better way to go. Let's try that. Oh, these are super sticky. Might have to use my fingernail. All right, there we go. So, put that one there. And then, do we need the bigger? Yeah, I think we need the bigger one. So we're going to pop the bigger one off for that flower. And then you always have to do them in threes. So if you joined me late, please drop me a hello so I know you're there. All right, one more. Oh, there's 3 sizes. Look at that one. I didn't even notice. We'll do the medium. We'll do one of each. And the medium gem, we'll just stick that out there. All right. What do you think? I like that. It's pretty. Okay, now for the inside. It's a black card, so you definitely want to do an insert unless you have like a white pen or glitter pen or something. So I already pre-cut a 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside of that. And I thought we could use that stencil. So let me grab some paper. All right, this one's seen a little love, but we'll reuse this guy. All right, so we're going to use this as a stencil, and I think we'll do it right there. So what you can do is you can test it. If you decide you don't like it, no worries. You can flip over your paper and use the other side. So we're going to give it a test and see how it looks. Hi, Becky. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm glad you like the card. All right. So let's start with some yellow. So we're going to use our blends brushes. And I think we'll do yellow. We might have to cover that spot. Let me grab a Post-it note. Let's see, I got a smaller one over here. I go a little wild with the blending brush. So let's cover any other openings, or we're gonna have stuff we didn't want. And maybe right there. Okay, that looks good. Post-it notes are great for everything. All right, so I think we'll start with the yellow and then maybe we'll layer on a little pink. So for my blends, I don't rinse them, you can, but I just label them by family color. So it's pretty clean right now. There's not much color in it. So you are just going to run it in there. Now you want to start off your paper on your scratch paper first because it comes out really dark. And then you can lightly go over the area that you want to stencil. And see, I think I even went off the edge over there. We'll see in a little bit. Might have to go in a straight motion on that one edge. And then depending on how much, how dark a yellow you want, you just keep adding layers. All right, I think that'll be good. Let's grab some pink now. That was just Daffodil Delight, so that was just like our standard yellow. And then I want to add a little bit of Melon Mambo, since that's the color in the kit. And what's nice is because they give you stamp sets with your paper pumpkin, you can use them and change up your colors to anything you want. So it's kind of cool. Let's turn it. There we go. That's got a little bit better color on there. And need a little more. Trying to make it even-ish, kind of like symmetrical. Okay, I think that'll be good. And I always like to close up the ink pad or I end up with extra somewhere I don't want it to be. And then we're going to take, so we'll peel all of this off. Hopefully my washi isn't too sticky today. Nope, that looks good. All right, look how pretty that is. See, look at that was garbage. Now it's a cool stencil. So you guys see how that kind of colored it up? And then I think we're going to stamp that butterfly in the center. And I did go a little wild. You'll see there's a little extra from my blending brush. I could always trim off that edge and throw a little some other gem on there, but I think it's okay. It's handmade. All right, so I have that inked up. And then I am just going to center it in the middle of the butterfly wings. Look how fun that is. So I always like to have a little something extra on the inside of my cards. It's more fun. I know the ones at Hallmark don't always have that, so you want our cards to be special when we're making them for our family and friends. All right. And we're just going to put that inside our card. All right. So there you go. So like I said, if you don't like that, you could always grab an extra flower. You can grab a gem. So like if we wanted to add a couple flowers, or if you have a punch with flowers, you can always add some of those there. You can add another one there. You could do 3, kind of cover up your oopses. Then no one will know they're even there. But I think that came out pretty cute. What do you guys think? All right, so that is just one way you can use your different products in your kit to create more cards and make it go further. So you can buy your standard pack of envelopes and then you could chop up the ones that come in your kit and make other cards out of it. So these are the ones from, where are we? Okay, here we go. So these are the ones in the kit. And I wanted to give you a quick look at some of the fun alternatives that I made, and I'll give you a quick discussion on those. I have a big pile. These really came together fast. Like I said, I love how quick and beautiful this kit is. Might have to get refills when they come out. All right, so let's start with this one. So this one, I just took a piece of the dotted paper, which, let's look around. Okay, so this card right here from the kit, I cut it into 3 pieces on the score lines. And so I took this front panel and I flipped it over, put it on here, and then I stamped some butterflies in Bermuda Bay on top of it. And then I used the new Stylish Shapes dies that I just got, and I used that, and then some retiring ribbon. I love this ribbon. I'm sad it's going. And then also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I went ahead and embossed this with the, I think it's Tasteful Textures, and that one's retiring too. That's my go-to embossing folder, so I'm not sure what I'm going to replace it with yet. But, and then I didn't do my inside yet on that guy. The next piece of that same card is this one. So this is the back panel right here. Let's move some of these out of the way. All right. Oh, and dimensionals. They're everywhere in my house. So this little back panel right here, I trimmed it down a little bit. I put some crushed curry, I think is our coordinating color, and then a Bermuda Bay base. That is a tongue twister. Stamped the sentiments, and then there's this fun little pattern in our stamp set. Went ahead and did that once I stamped off, and then I stamped onto here. And then, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's some Wink of Stella I added to the flower on that one. And then the third piece, so these all 3 were made from this one card base, is this little guy. And took this banner and I flipped it the opposite direction. Did some stamping, added the little butterfly, and did some coloring with the blends. On here you can even tell, I don't know if you can tell the shadowing, I added some dark granny apple green on the leaves to give some extra shadowing to those green leaves, and then some more Wink of Stella, and layered it up with Melon Mambo and granny apple green. So that's another fun card. This one opens this way. Again, I didn't do the inserts for these yet. So those are 3 cards you can make from this one. And what's nice is because I chopped that card up, I had these extra pieces, and that's what I used to make this card with an envelope. So there's lots of different ways you can combine your kits. Now let's see. So this one I was playing with the moon. Okay, so this is the original card. And when you pop out all these little pieces, you get little tiny stars. So what I did is I flipped some over and showed the white side, and some I used the black. And then I used the glitter pen, again the Wink of Stella, to glitter them up and make them shiny. I used those Stylish Shapes dies, and then I used a gingham embossing folder. It's hard to tell. Change the lighting. So that, so basically this was made with all the negatives, and then I stole a cloud. So one of my cards is minus a cloud, but I don't think you need to. I think you're okay with the one. And then the next variation on this one, again, this is, you know, the extra that punched out of the other card. And then this time I used these elements from the Wave collection. So there's a new stamp die set, and that's where I got the clouds and the this tag. And then actually, if you look at the stars on this one, these are from the Halloween stickers we had with that little, had like 3 different colors in it. So I pulled some of those. They retired with the holiday catalog, but I just love those stars. So that gave it a fun look for that one. And I don't think I did, nope, see I gotta cut a lot of inserts. So I went crazy on the black cards for some reason. And so I'm gonna have to make some card bases. Now here's another one that's kind of fun. So this one I took this card right here, and I did the same thing. So I cut this one into 3 pieces, right? And then what I did is I flipped all these pieces. So if you look, this piece of the card is actually flipped this way. And then I hid the cocoon with a die cut with the butterfly. And then this one is actually flipped that way. So I just mixed and matched the pieces. See, look, more random dimensional bags floating. So those are combined there, and then I just put them on a black mat. And all my label punches here I'm using from Stylish Shapes. These 2 are actually from the He's the Man suite, which is coming out in the new catalog. And these are 2 different dies that are layered together. And the next card, these are also from that. This one is also from that stamp set. Oh yeah, here's the original. See, it doesn't look too bad without one, you know. So I kind of borrowed that cloud, if you look right there. And then this is the, so I used 2 pieces from this. So this card only made 2 technically, because I used this on one and this on the other. And what I did is I flipped it over and used this backside to make this card. And I used the pieces from here to do that. And I layered up. The gems are actually the in colors that are retiring. These gems are from the retiring gem pack in the annual catalog. And then just did a little bit of circles for the sentiment. And yet again, I'm going to have to make some inserts and do some decorating with the stamp set. So basically, those are all the different alternatives that I put together with this card kit. It was a lot of fun, and I had a great time putting it together. I hope you guys learned some new tips and tricks and enjoyed getting to see a closer look at the paper pumpkin kit. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I thank you so much for joining me. Have a great night, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.